Hello and welcome to the Arabian Horse Times on the road here at the U.S. National Championships. We are here in the Times News booth, proudly sponsored by Barta Show Horses. And I'm thrilled this morning to have as our very first guests on our Breeders' podcasts, Peter and Lori Conway of Conway Arabians. Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah.
So can we start by talking about the Arabian English Pleasure Association? Tell us a little bit about what the vision is, the mission statement.
Well, all of the $100,000 classes at the U.S. Nationals, the Arabian English Performance Association's class is the oldest and the originator of that entire concept. We developed it. It's been almost 20 years since the program was initiated. And fortunately, it's been followed by the Western program and the Hunter program as well, which is really good for the industry, really good for the breed. Ours is still, I think, the least complicated and the least expensive of all of the programs. With ours, basically, if anyone breeds to a stallion that is enrolled in the program, an AEPA stallion, that foal is eligible for everything in the AEPA. There's no nomination fee, there's no additional cost, there's no anything. That's all they have to do. There's no paperwork. Simply breed to one of the stallions that's enrolled. Your horse is eligible for all of those programs for the rest of its life. Starting with, of course, the $100,000 class is a 4-year-old, which for me is the most exciting class at the U.S. Nationals. I love watching initially the pattern class. It gives us as breeders a chance to evaluate all those 4-year-old horses individually, really look at them, really consider their bloodlines, who they're sired by, what the dam line is, and think about how that affects our own breeding programs. So I think it's very, very educational, and that was part of the vision, the initial vision of the program. And then, of course, we have the collective class for the championship and all of that prize money, which is great. And then beyond that, there are classes for the amateurs going forward. There's the Scottsdale amateur class, which I think pays, I might be a little wrong on this, I think it's $25,000. It's either $20,000 or $25,000 worth of prize money.
I think it's
25,000. That's the Conway Arabian sponsored AEPA class at Scottsdale. And new this year, which is going to be, I think, really, really exciting. There's a new Keystone project as part of the Thanksgiving show, which is going to be held at the World Equestrian Center over Thanksgiving. And part of that is an AEPA class that will be a Pro-Am class, ridden one direction by the amateur, second direction by the professional. And I think that is and that's sponsored by Barbara Kerr, Strawberry Banks, Barbara Kerr. And that's either $25,000 or $30,000 worth of prize money, actually. So that's the whole concept, the whole point of the AEPA is to promote the Arabian English performance horse, both within the existing community and to the outside community, to bring more people into the program.
So Peter and Lori, now that we're 20 years in with AEPA influence in the industry, how do you think it's affected the breeding of English performance horses in our industry here in North America?
Well, I can start with our own breeding program because it had a major impact on us. I still vividly remember it. It was the year that Heirs Noble Love won the AEPA class, and ROL Divine Style was reserve in that class, 2 fantastic horses. And as we sat and watched the class, we were we either need to back away from this or we need to step up our game.
Yeah.
And we decided to make a new commitment to it. We did step up our game. We went out and purchased some fantastic mares, and then of course Coltrane. That was part of the decision to purchase Coltrane, and it changed our whole English breeding program. So for us, it had a dynamic impact. And I think for all breeders, it makes those prospects more marketable, which is a huge help to be able to market your young horses at a little earlier age because of that class being out there. So.
And that's an impressive concept, to actually find a good market for performance horses at that young of an age. That's usually a market that takes longer to develop. So
It
that's
does.
I credit you all for creating that and really stimulating breeding. Do you think it's actually broadened the genetic palette within the English pleasure circles, or is that something that still needs to happen because of the limited availability of high quality English performance genetics?
Yeah, I don't know for me if that's as big of a concern as it has been for a lot of people. I don't see any. So far, I think our horses continue to get better and better and better. That's what I would say. The English Pleasure Division, the horses have continuously improved over my lifetime, my involvement with the breed. Clearly, there is somewhat of a limited gene pool, but breeders have been able to take advantage of the horses within it to produce better and better horses without really us seeing any kinds of genetic issues or genetic problems. So I don't know if it's as big a concern as some people make it out to be.
So I would say at the same time that the quality of the English performance horse in the industry has definitely leapt ahead,
Unquestionably.
right? By
Right.
huge percentage points. I would say so is the training, really. Do you think that the AEPA program has created more opportunity for more trainers to be involved and for that level of training to increase in our industry?
The pattern.
Yeah, the pattern class is a chance for trainers to show off their ability individually again and to be seen individually in that class and to show their skills. We're also, and it's something actually the AEPA is working on to try to broaden our ability to bring in young trainers and to highlight them for the public to see. So we're actually doing some, in conjunction with the Arabian Horse Times, we're doing some things this year and going forward to publicize young trainers that are getting involved with the breed and with that class. So we want to help with that.
That's fantastic.
So.
I can absolutely witness the fact that I think that the quality of training has gone up,
No.
and certainly the broader spectrum of trainers all across the country is really encouraging within the industry. Definitely, it's good to see.
And I think, and one of the things that I feel really good about, the performance industry as a whole, and particularly the English division, is how helpful trainers will be with young trainers. I think the entire community understands the need to bring people along, get new people involved, and to help younger trainers develop those skills and those abilities. Any of the older established trainers in the breed are more than happy to reach out and lend a hand to people that ask them. So
It's been an encouraging trend, hasn't it?
it is.
Absolutely.
I agree.
So, just going through the AEPA website last night, I stumbled across the manifesto.
Yes.
Which I have to admit, from someone who's very interested in trying to create the best for the breed, that is a stellar piece of information. Can you tell me a little bit about the manifesto? Who created that? What team of people created that? What brilliant minds were behind it? And how that's helped keep the English performance horse on track?
So that was part of the original concept behind the AEPA. Is to begin with, we needed to somehow do a better job of defining what a good English pleasure horse actually is, to help establish a judging standard that says this is really what we're looking for, this is what we're breeding for. And that was what that manifesto was all about. And it was definitely a team effort. All of the people that were involved on the board of directors of the AEPA, including both breeders and trainers, were involved in that. And then it was widely circulated so that people would have a chance to put their input in and either agree or disagree with particular elements of it. Ray LaCroix was heavily involved in the writing of that at the inception of it. But it was certainly not any individual that would be totally responsible for it. All of us, it was a group effort, and everybody involved wanted to look and wanted to have input and then reach a consensus that this is what should define a great English horse. So.
And for sure, I would encourage anyone to go to the AEPA website and read that manifesto. It's an absolute stellar piece of work that really describes in detail better than most standards for any sort of performance or breed anywhere in the world. It's an outstanding
Yeah, it's something
piece of
that
work.
needs to be
It's inspiring.
promoted a little bit more,
Absolutely,
yeah.
Lori. And I think we'd all do ourselves a service if we had that same sort of manifesto for all our performance divisions as well as our breeding divisions, for sure. So that's really
I
well
agree.
done.
Absolutely.
So talk to us about the AEPA classes that are on the schedule for this year, for 2022. When are they? What's the prize money? What do we expect? Who are our sponsors?
So the pattern classes obviously take place first. They're Wednesday afternoon. They're the last classes of the afternoon. The purebred class is the first of the two, and that is sponsored by the Ames Foundation. So it's the Ames Foundation AEPA $100,000 purebred futurity. And then immediately following that is the pattern class for the equine athlete $50,000 half Arab futurity. And then the finalists for both of those classes are on Friday, with the half Arab class taking place in the afternoon. And Friday night is the finals for the purebred English class.
So thank you, Peter and Lori, for sharing such in-depth information about the AEPA, and thank you for all your effort in leading this in the industry and stimulating English performance breeding, and for our industry and for the next generations. It's been an inspiring project, and we're really thankful to you and the board of directors and everyone that's been involved to make this happen for our
Well,
breed.
thank you very much. And I want to make that point. It is very much a group effort of the entire board of directors that gets that done. So.
Thank you again.